And now, on Thursday, we said we'd have news for cyclists, and if you're a keen cyclist, keep your eyes open and have a look at these bikes that Val and Peter are riding in now.
They really are very modern bikes indeed. I think they're just about the most modern design bikes that I've seen for ages.
Well, they remind me of those American dragster racing bikes because the front wheel is much smaller than the back wheel and the rider sits right at the back end here with these high roll bars behind him. It looks extremely sporting.
Well, there's quite a lot of things that are different about them, and I'll just get off and show you one thing immediately, and that is, I can get the stand down, the saddle. Usually bikes have this little tiny hard leather saddle in the middle, which is very uncomfortable. This has got a lovely long saddle and a back made out of nice soft squishy leather, and of course this is a very nice support here when you're riding along. And these springs underneath here, coil springs, if I push down you can see them give there, and the idea is that as you ride along nasty bumpy roads they take all the bumps and you don't feel anything, and they certainly are very comfy indeed. What do you think, Pete?
Yeah, I think they're absolutely great. But the roll bar at the back certainly wouldn't protect you very much if you came off the bike, but that together with, if I can negotiate this, that's it, that together with these high sporting handlebars makes the bike look just like a real racing machine. And it doesn't have conventional gears like you'd expect with a click switch up here on the handlebars. What it has got is a gear lever down here on the crossbar, rather like a car gear lever. You move it backwards and forwards to change gear, and there is an indicator on it. Across here it shows that it's now in second gear. I rode in third gear, but when you look down you can see right away which gear you're in. I think it's very well designed.
Oh, everything actually on these bikes seems to be the latest in design. I've ridden quite a few bikes on Blue Peter, old and new, but I should think this is one of the most modern looking bikes I've seen. The thing I do like actually is this rear tyre. It's a lovely broad tyre. It's got a nice tread there for gripping the road, very much like a motorbike scramble tyre. Above it, behind the saddle, there's a nice large reflector, and on each of the pedals too they've got reflectors, so you can be seen at night quite well by other road users. Well, you might think we look fairly comfortable on these bikes, which we are, and you might also think that we're a little big for the bikes, and we are again, aren't we? But of course when you usually start off riding a bike you start on a three-wheel trike, and I was quite surprised that time that I took part in the London to Brighton cycle run to discover that a tricycle was taking part. It was a full-sized one though, not a little one, and the lady riding it was thoroughly enjoying herself.
There seemed to be just about every kind of imaginable bike you could find taking part in that race. We had a very unusual letter arrive in the Blue Peter office the other day. It comes from Jane Turkentine, who lives in Cambridge, and Jane starts her letter off with a rather unusual question. She says, "Dear Val, John and Peter, how many things do you take to bed with you?" She then goes on to give us a list of all the things that she takes to bed with her.